Hello. My name my name is Alex. I wanted to tell this story so I could explain what I've done. I'm going to go seek mental health help after I'm done with this. For I hope I'm just crazy, but you never know. You see, I was never very popular. I am 16 currently. I never really had many friends. Never had anyone, really. My parents were all good, but they were kind of distant. You see, my father was a big sportsman, and my mom was rather preppy, and I'm just not. I'm really on the nerdy side. I like to keep my nose in the books. Either way, I like creating characters, alongside doing my research, mostly into mythology and things of that nature. But the reason I would come up with these characters is they almost felt like friends to me. Till the day came, well, you see, I would draw these characters in a notebook. And that's how I would talk to them, just flipping through the pages, imagining I was having a conversation with them. It became my entire life. Everything that made me happy. But one day, my father wanted to take me outside to play baseball. I didn't want to and kept my nose in my drawings, and my father he took my sketchbook. He told me that I was never going to get anywhere with my drawing and that I needed to focus on something that I could actually benefit from. He held me back as he filled the sink with water and tore out page after page, dipping them in the water, wadding them up, and throwing them in the trash. I saw all my friends just disappear, and I felt nothing by the time it was done but sadness and anger. He tried to take me outside, but I yelled, "No! Fuck you!" Punched him in the stomach, and I ran to my room, locking the door. After about 10 minutes of trying to get me out, he yelled that I could just stay in there until he told me I could leave. I went into the corner and I started crying. Then all of a sudden I heard something, just a very faint tap, coming from my desk. I got up and walked towards it. Standing there was a single piece of paper and my limited art supplies. I had a pencil, an eraser, a few colored pencils, just the basic ones like yellow, green, and skin tone. What would you call it? Peach, I guess. Then I had a blue marker, a red marker, and a black marker. I began to write a new character, but this time it wasn't a happy character. I was so angry and so upset that all I could think of was something bad, but I didn't want to make something completely bad, so I drew the drawing you're seeing before you right now. Drew a man, half looking normal, but half of him was black with a white skeleton design, making him look like a painted skeleton with a black skull instead of a white one. I was happy to have at least one friend. One I wasn't going to let my father get to. That night I went to bed without eating, and the next morning I woke up and went to school. I did have one friend. Her name was Amy. I got to school and Amy had this weird doll. It was made out of string and had beads for eyes and some little fabric making up shorts. It looked kind of like her, the way it had its string hair. She said it was called a Voodara. Something about a doll that is the opposite of a voodoo doll. Instead of bringing you bad luck, it brings you good luck and protects you. I thought that was kind of silly, but as I read more into my mythology, I realized that this was something that appeared often in history, which finally gave me a name for my character. I named him Voodara. Voodara became my only friend, though, as shortly after, Amy started dating one of the popular boys, and she didn't want to talk to me anymore. She said I was beneath her now. I didn't need her. All I needed was Voodara. He'd be my friend. I imagined Voodara as being a somewhat serious but still sly character, like Bugs Bunny if he were a demon. I became very good friends with Voodara. I'd spend all my time expanding his character, expanding his personality traits, doing whatever I could to make his character seem more real. And then, one day, while I was doing my studies, I learned about something. A mythological creature I'd never heard of before called a topa. You see, a topa is a creature that's brought into reality through sheer belief that it exists. The Buddhists believe in these, as well as a few other religions. I was amazed. You see, apparently they believe that if someone fully fleshes out a creature or character, gives it a personality, a background, a history, and believes that that character is real, and truly believes it, it will make that character manifest in the real world. This was amazing, and day after day I tried to convince myself that Voodara existed, but I didn't believe it. No matter what I did, I couldn't convince myself that my own creation was real, because he wasn't. Maybe it was because I created his whole personality to be against my father. You see, I love my mother and my younger sister, but I hate my father. I made I made his entire personality pretty much that he hated my father and wanted to protect me from him. Now, eventually I gave up trying to make Voodara into a topa, but I had one last idea. My younger sister believed anything I told her, because I was her big sibling. So, I told her about Voodara. I told her everything I had written about him. And every night I would ask her if she had seen him, and she'd say no. This went on for about a month, until finally the night came where she said yes, that she had seen Voodara. I was so ecstatic that maybe somehow this had worked. But she only said she saw him once, and never again. But strange things started happening. My little sister started to get darker. Not just her style, but her personality. The once bubbly little girl seemed to be getting more sadistic and more manipulative as time went on. She started hurting other kids, and within a year, she had gotten all the way to where she put one of our kittens in the microwave. She was sent off to a mental health clinic, and my parents blamed me, saying that it was because I wasn't, the brightest person myself, that I had corrupted her and caused her to turn evil. My parents are a bit religious. I attested to this, but they didn't care. They took away all my science stuff, all my drawings, all my movies, everything. They left me in my room with nothing but my bed, blanket, pillow, and a cross. They had even found the picture of Voodara. I decided to go to bed, but I was woken up to the sound of something calling my name. Alex. Alex. What the hell? I thought. I got up and I went to go see what it was. I followed the noise outside of my door, but after I opened it, I realized my parents had locked my door from the outside, and there's no way in hell they would have unlocked it. As I walked down the hallway, I realized I didn't hear anything. You see, my father was a pretty loud snorer, and usually my mom would sleep on the couch, but neither one of them were there. I walked into their room, even, flipped on the light switch, and saw nothing but a messy bed. Confused, I went to go see if they had maybe left a note on the fridge, and when I turned on the light, I was horrified. Our cat, the one who had had the kitten that my sister put in the microwave, was dead. And in its blood on the wall was spelled the word Voodara. The next day I had learned that my little sister had apparently